In today's adventure, we're exploring a practice that you can play with right here, right now, to lovingly nourish internal bonds with your present moment self. Practicing self-love in a way that nourishes body, mind, and soul in a tender and powerful way that creates healing and expansion from within. When you wake up in the morning, you are waking up with yourself in your body, mind, encountering your own existence through body, mind, and soul. And so you might think that you're waking up in a house with your housemates inside of a house, but that's secondary. Primarily, first and foremost, you are waking up inside of your body, mind, and soul. You're waking up in the temple of your body, mind, where you experience your mind and your physical body through, and you're waking up with all aspects of yourself in the morning. The only person you're guaranteed to spend every moment of your life with is you, and the only place you are guaranteed to live in every moment of your whole entire life is your body, mind. And from the relationship that you have with yourself, your self-essence, all parts of you, and the relationship that you have with your body, mind, the physical temple, the physical vessel of the body, your energetic mental space of perception and awareness, and the landscapes that bridge those realities through the body mind, which includes the subconscious and how unconscious memories and other navigational networks are actually navigating your sense of self, inner realities, and translations of details of personal experience. From that inner foundation of your relationship with your own self-essence and body mind springs forth the relationships that you encounter with every other person, place, thing, situation, and style of experience. And so before addressing the relationship that you have with your romantic partner, before addressing the relationship that you have with your work colleague, before addressing the relationship that you have with your child or children, before addressing the relationship that you have with food or fitness or health or wellness or exercise, or taking care of your body, before addressing the relationship that you have with anything outside of you, we must address the relationships that are occurring within you, inside of you. And even if all relationships are flowing well, it's still important to mindfully invest in your own inner relationship, because the only person you're guaranteed to spend every moment of your life with is the person who's looking back at you in a mirror. And the only place that you're guaranteed to live within for the rest of your life is your body, mind, and soul. So play a little imagination game with me here, and then we'll segue into the key point of today's discussion. Imagine waking up to your romantic partner. And before the day even begins, before you think about the stuff you need to do and the places you need to go and the stuff you need to accomplish and the things that have been on your mind and the different thoughts you have about all these different things and different feelings that come up and different habits, and before anything like that comes up, the first thing that you're focused on is the fact that you're waking up with your romantic partner. And in that moment, your skin touches their skin, and you can see and feel and hear the sound of their breath coming in and out of their nose. And you place a hand on their chest and you can feel the rhythm of their heartbeat. Maybe you even lay your head on their chest and you can hear the sound of their heartbeat directly into your ear. And you visually watch their belly rise and fall with the rhythm of their breath. Maybe you place a hand on their belly and actually feel it. And you just notice that you are in the presence of your life partner, that person that you share life with. And no matter what else is happening in life, you're there with them. And you could be in the smallest bed in the smallest cottage or the greatest bed in the most gigantic mansion. and it would hardly even matter, because what's most important is the who that you are sharing it with. And so you wake up in the morning after a good night's sleep, and the first thing you notice is the presence of being right there with your partner, your romantic partner, your life partner, your partner. And you move your skin along their skin and feel so vulnerably close, so intimately connected, so loved and cherished. And they respond to you as they start to wake up. And they wrap their arms around you and they place their hands on your hands and their skin on your skin. And they start to attune with the rhythm of your breath and the rhythm of your heartbeat. And you can see and feel and hear the air coming in and out of their nose as they breathe. And you just cherish them for being. You don't cherish them because of this and that and this and that, and because of what they have or what they do or what they know or what they, etc. Right now, you just cherish them for being, for existing. And the only mandate to experience love in this moment, the only requirement in place to experience love in this moment is existing. There are no conditions to experiencing love in this moment. It's not you'll be loved and you'll have the opportunity to experience and exchange love if and when you are this type of person or do this type of thing. The fact that you exist is the only stipulation to experience love in this moment. There are no conditions. There are no conditions to experiencing love in this moment. Love simply is. And there's nothing that can stop this love. There's nothing that can restrict this love. There's nothing that can limit this love. This love simply is. So imagine that you're waking up with your romantic life partner. And before anything else happens in the day, you are already experiencing love simply by being in their presence. And your skin touches their skin, and your breath attunes with their breath, and you notice their belly rise and fall, whether you're seeing it or feeling it. You notice the air coming in and out of their nose as you hear it and you feel it, and you attune with the rhythm of their heartbeat as you lay your head on their chest or maybe place a hand over their heartbeat and you can feel it. And in that moment, you're just like, wow, I'm alive. And they're alive, and we're here alive together. What a miracle. What a gift. What an opportunity. What love. Now, shift this and imagine that there are two distinct aspects of your own self when waking up in the morning. Okay? Most of the time, on autopilot, the body-mind has navigational systems that support you in navigating experience. And so usually you feel that you are the experiencer of yourself focused on experience, okay? Most of the time, usually, normally, typically, on average, just in a standard autopilot, naturally flowing kind of a way, we move through our days feeling that we are the experiencer focused on experience. I am Kristin and I'm focused on recording a podcast. I am this person focused on doing this thing. I am this person focused on moving over here. I am this person focused on accomplishing this task. I'm this person focused on driving to my destination. I'm this person focused on cleaning the house. I'm this person, the experiencer, focused on the experience. But when we move through our whole life like that, we miss the greatest opportunity of a lifetime. If we move through life in the pursuit of happiness, for example, do we ever pay attention to the self who is within the experience of desiring happiness? Or are we just the experiencer of self focused on the happiness? So every area of our life is all about some kind of relationship and some kind of relational bond, with the examples of being in a relationship with the food that we eat, being in a relationship with the health of our body and opportunities for body movement and physical exercise, being in a relationship with your job or your work or your form of expression or hobbies or passions or skill sets or talents or gifts or dreams or desires. We're in a relationship with physical objects, with the things that we have, the things that we interact with, the things that we desire to attain. We're in a relationship with animals and pets that we have, or animals we see in nature. We're in a relationship with different people in our life. But those relationships outside of us are all dependent on the relationships we have within us. And in our entire life, the only person we are guaranteed to spend every moment of our life with is ourselves. You are the only person you are guaranteed to share your whole life with. And out of all the places that we might live or travel to and spend time within, the only place that we're actually guaranteed to live in for the rest of our life is our body-mind. Our body-mind is the only place we're guaranteed to live in for the rest of our life. So the most important relationship we'll ever have is the one we have with all parts of ourselves. So in this example of waking up with your romantic life partner, what's the most important thing that stands out here? It's the fact that there are two different people having a relationship with each other, two distinct beings having a relational bond, a relational connection, relational attunement, relational attachments, a relational bond with each other. Otherwise, it would just be one person waking up by themselves, right? And there wouldn't be some other person to touch skin with. There wouldn't be some other person to notice their breathing. There wouldn't be some other person to hear the rhythm of their heartbeat. There wouldn't be some other being to say, wow, I have a relationship with them, okay? So now we want to take that idea and say, how can we mirror, mimic, and recreate that type of relationship inside of ourselves? And so the first thing that we need to do that is two distinct aspects of self, distinction and connection between parts of the self. Otherwise, there would just be the experiencer focused on experience without any specific relational bonds between aspects of self. So without distinction and connection, there's just the experiencer, a singular person who's focused on experience. But in order to have this magnificent, nourishing relationship with all parts of self, the most powerful practice is to have distinction and connection between distinct parts of the self. And so the first way to practice this is distinguishing the awareness of self from the experiencer of self. The awareness of self from the experiencer of self. The awareness of self is never directly within a personal experience. It is a space of pure presence and loving awareness. And that is the most powerful place to be, because through awareness, you can shift anything. And through love, you can transform anything. And through loving awareness, you can be anything. The experiencer of self includes all aspects of self who are within the experience. The parts of self who are within different thought patterns and feeling patterns and choice tendencies and habits. All the parts of self who have connection with different personality traits or preferences. All the parts of the self who are affiliated with all memories and navigational networks in the brain and the body. All the parts of self who think and feel and choose and move and do and prefer, and all the parts of self within the experience. And so we're not looking at experience at all. We're looking at the experiencer of self. When you look at any type of relational bond between people, there is a constant flow of energy between each person. And oftentimes there will be one person that is in the lead energy of initiating or giving the love, a more masculine energy of giving, initiating, leading the energetic exchange of that love. When you look at a parent and a child, the parent is the lead energy in the attachment bond and relational attunement with the child. When you look at romantic partners, there's often one person who is more so in the lead energy of that romantic relationship. And so when there are intimate attachment bonds between two people, there's usually one person who has more of a lead energy in that relational role. They initiate the energetic exchange of giving and receiving love. The lead energy in a relational bond might give more love than they receive. And this is especially evident in the example of a parent and a child. The parent is always giving more love into that child, tending to all of their physical, mental, emotional, energetic needs. And the child, of course, is loving them back, but it's not necessarily an equal exchange. The lead energy is initiating and maybe even giving more than they receive back. And so in this relational attachment bond, there's a lead energy and a receiving energy. And the lead energy initiates the energetic exchange of love and often gives more than they receive. And so let's use this concept here when cultivating relationships between parts of self. There is the awareness of self and the experiencer of self. The parts of self who are within the experience and the parts of self who are independent of experience, just in a space of pure presence and loving awareness. And if you want to take this into the neuroscience of the human experience, you can imagine that the awareness of self are the parts of self flowing through the brain's frontal lobes or prefrontal cortex that's linked with the mohawk of self-awareness. While all aspects of self who are within the inner experiencer are flowing through the rest of the brain and the body. The limbic system, the emotional centers, the left-right brain hemispheres, language centers, the throat, the voice, the back, the neck, the muscles, the connective tissue, the fascia, parts of self who are within the experiencer of self flow through the rest of the brain and the body, while the awareness of self is active in that prefrontal cortex with possibly some extension into other parts of the frontal lobes and the mohawk of self-awareness, okay? So there's the awareness of self and the experiencer of self. To cultivate relational attachment bonds, there needs to be distinction and connection between parts of self. Waking up to a external romantic partner is so meaningful because there's a physical body of another being lying there with you, and you're in a relationship with them. And so we're mirroring that concept inside of our own being, since the only person we're guaranteed to share our life with is the person inside of us, the person we see in the mirror every day, the person that we breathe with inside of us in every moment, the person whose heart is beating right here, right now, inside of us, inside of our bodies. That is the life partner that we are guaranteed to share our whole life with. And the only place we're guaranteed to live in and wake up in every single day is our body-mind. And so nourishing body, mind, and soul through internal relational attachment bonds is the most powerful pathway to amplify wholeness, happiness, well-being, and expansion in every other area of our life experience. So imagine now waking up after a great night's sleep, and instead of being the experiencer who's automatically focused on experience, you instead wake up in a space of pure presence and loving awareness. Spaciousness of being, absolute existence, pure presence, pure awareness, pure consciousness, instinctively connected with yourself and the present moment with energies of love. Energies of love that don't have any conditions. It's not, I choose love when this happens, or when I feel this, or when I have this, or when this happens, or if this happens, or if parts of me do this, or if parts of me feel this, or it's love. It's absolute love. It's pure love. It's sacred love. It's infinite love. It's unconditional love. The love simply is, and this love has no opposite. If there's love that is conditional, then there's an opposite potential to that love. It's, yes, there's love, but it's there conditionally. So if the conditions change, then I might experience the opposite of love. Okay, this love that we're talking about does not have an opposite. There is no opposite to unconditional love. There's no opposite experience. There is no opposite to the experience of unconditional love. There's no flip side to it. There's no conditions to it. There's no opposite. There's no duality. There is just love. There is just absolute love, infinite love, pure love, sacred love, unconditional love. And that is the love that the awareness of self has the ability to connect with. Another way to describe this distinction and connection between self aspects is the awareness of self being the higher self, while the experiencer of self is the human self. And so if that resonates, you can use that terminology as you practice distinction and connection. The higher self initiating attachment bonds with the human self, or the awareness of self initiating attachment bonds with the experiencer of self, or the observational self initiating attachment bonds with the experiential self. Simply choose whichever terms resonate with you at this time. So you wake up in the morning, and instead of being the experiencer of self, automatically focused on experience, you wake up as the awareness of yourself in a spacious place of pure beingness through loving awareness, loving presence, pure awareness. And in that space of loving presence and pure awareness, you start to notice the experiencer of yourself as they are in that space between sleeping and waking. And you start to feel the presence of their breath, and you start to feel the rhythm of their heartbeat. And maybe you place a hand on your heart or your belly, and you feel the rhythm of their breath and their heartbeat. And maybe you place one hand on your arm, and you start to feel your own skin. And with skin on skin and feeling the rhythm of their breath and the beat of their heartbeat, the awareness of self starts to notice the experiencer of self and initiate a process and a journey of developing relational attachment bonds with the experiencer of self. And then there is the experiencer who begins to receive this unconditional love from the awareness of self. And the energy flows back and forth between the awareness of self and the experiencer of self. And the awareness of self is distinct from the experiencer of self. They're two distinct inner aspects of self who are participating in a relational interaction with each other in a distinct and specified way. And so I invite you to practice this and play with it and see how it can expand your consciousness while nourishing the temple of your body, mind, and soul. As you nourish body, mind, and soul, body, mind, and soul, your mind, your body, mind, and your spirit, your soul, your self-essence. And to allow for the anchoring of unconditional love into your being. so that every relationship you have with every other component of life can naturally thrive, because first and foremost, the relationship you have with all parts of yourself is thriving. And if you're in a journey of healing from something, transforming something, maybe an area of your body, mind, soul, health, and well-being, or transmuting energies lingering from a past experience or trauma, if you're in a journey of healing from something, the most powerful first step is to nourish the attachment bonds between parts of self. This process actually assists in healing and transforming anything else in the most powerful way beyond anything you can possibly imagine. So I invite you to play with this practice when you wake up in the morning. And you can practice this, of course, in any moment of any day, but how we start the day is what carries us through the rest of the day, which becomes the rest of our life. So that's a powerful time to practice it in any moment of any day, or when you first wake up in the morning. Practice. Okay, instead of being the experiencer of myself, automatically focused on experience, let me shift to the perspective of being the awareness of myself. And from this space of pure presence and loving awareness, I then notice the experiencer of myself being distinct from me. And this does not mean disassociating with yourself or dissociating from yourself. There is a profound difference between practicing distinction and connection between aspects of self to lovingly nourish relational bonds within your being, and not being fully connected with all parts of yourself, okay? So please know those are completely different things. And if you feel dissociation or disassociation, like you're disconnecting or detaching from parts of self, please know that that is a completely different sensation of inner realities from the intimate journey of practicing distinction and connection through nourishing relational internal attachment bonds. Not the same thing, okay? Distinction and connection between parts of self, not the same thing as dissociating from yourself, disassociating from yourself, or disconnecting or detaching from parts of yourself. Those are different experiences entirely. Practice, though, being the awareness of yourself, and from that place, lovingly attuning with the experiencer of yourself. And when you notice your breath, notice it like you would notice your romantic partner, in a sense of unconditional love, awe, and appreciation. A sense of unconditional love, awe, and appreciation, with profound gratitude just to have the opportunity to wake up with someone that you love unconditionally. And as you notice the rhythm of their heartbeat, the awareness of self, noticing the rhythm of the heartbeat of the inner experiencer, you just notice, oh my goodness, feel this life. Feel this miraculous rhythm of life effortlessly pouring through this beautiful, miraculous being that I get to wake up with today. I get to spend this day with. I get to share every moment with. I get to journey through life with. I get to know on the most intimate level. And place a hand on the belly of your body and allow the awareness of self to appreciate and value and treasure the miracle of the inner experiencer being alive right here, right now. And in this process, especially allow for the fulfillment of specific internal attachment needs, such as the need to feel seen, loved, treasured, appreciated, celebrated, supported, connected, respected, embraced, safe, secure, protected, provided for, with stability and sustenance and importance and purpose, and a sense of belonging and feeling wanted from inside of your being, where you allow parts of your inner experiencer to feel the fulfillment of those specific needs through the unconditional love of your inner being, not exclusively dependent on external sensations of experience. Yes, it's wonderful to feel loved and supported and respected by other people or in certain circumstances, scenarios, situations, or experiences. But that is secondary. The relationships and experiences we have outside of us are secondary. And it all depends on the relationship we have within us. And creating a felt sense of attachment need fulfillment for the experiencer of self through the power of pure presence and loving awareness from within us is the greatest superpower you will ever cultivate inside of your being. When you wake up in the morning, shift your awareness. Instead of being the experiencer of self, focused on experience, be the awareness of yourself, focused on the experiencer of yourself. And instead of just saying, yeah, I'm breathing, yeah, my heart's beating, cool, let's start our day, be the awareness of self, noticing the breath and the heartbeat of the inner experiencer, while nourishing a felt sense of those specific attachment needs. The awareness of self sees and loves and celebrates and treasures and appreciates and respects and recognizes and embraces that inner experiencer. The awareness of self feels vulnerably connected with the experiencer of self. And the experiencer of self receives this unconditional love and somatically senses the power of this loving awareness from within. And the experiencer of self feels so seen and so loved and so wanted and so important and so recognized and so respected and so embraced and so supported and so connected and so vulnerably close and with such collaboration and community from within and so safe and so secure and so protected and so provided for and so sustained and so stable and with such a sense of importance and belonging from inside of the being as the awareness of self initiates extending this love, and the experiencer of self receives this love from within. Amplify this practice of awareness with somatic touch as you use your hands to guide your skin in caressing itself, feeling the rhythm of your breath, feeling the rhythm of your heartbeat, feeling the air coming in and out of your nose, feeling your heart beating, feeling your belly move up and down as you breathe, or whichever part of your body you most feel your breath in that particular moment. And you touch different parts of your body, and you maybe hold your head or caress your face or run your fingers through your hair or touch different parts of your body, just bringing awareness to the body or being more intimate and sensual with it if that feels right. But simply allowing for loving presence with all aspects of your body, mind, and soul, and nourishing these internal relational attachment bonds throughout all aspects of self, beginning with the awareness of self, nourishing the inner experiencer through body, mind, and soul. If you would like to take your personal journey to its next level of loving liberation and magnificent divine expansion, exploring the miracles of your inner realities, shifting, healing, and transforming anything that needs it, and then continuing to expand into greater unity, health, wholeness, and happiness in body, mind, and soul, I invite you to explore offerings through Kristin's Quantum Catalyzers. Firstly, I invite you to sign up for my email list, and we can stay in touch that way. And I share tips, tricks, tools, teachings, practices, guided journeys, and so much more through the magnificent magic portal Loving Liberation email newsletter. And you can sign up for that for free and stay in touch with me in a more personal way. And if you want to just take a baby step and demonstrate to yourself, yes, I care about my loving liberation. Yes, I want a reminder, a tangible reminder that I'm here to love myself and experience the power of that love from within me. I welcome you to explore my merchandise store where there's over 100 original designs that just have like mugs and fun apparel and things, but with mantras and different grounding, centering reminders that really allow us to feel nourished every time we are reminded of them. And then if you want to actually take a real step forward and say, I'm ready for more. I'm ready to experience more of the love that I am. I'm ready to have a better relationship with all parts of myself. I'm ready to transform the relationships I have outside of me, such as with other people or food or exercise or anything, any place, any person, any situation, any sensation of experience. I'm ready to transform that by first focusing on the relationship I have with all parts of me through body, mind, and soul. I'm ready to understand myself. I'm ready to understand the message carrying medicine that is behind my sensations, thoughts and feelings and choice tendencies and habits, and even the expression of our own personality. It's all carrying medicine. They're all messengers of medicine. And so maybe you're like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for more. I'm ready to know more about the me that I am. I'm ready to have more power from inside of my being on a daily basis. I'm ready to have more power and authority to transform and heal from these past traumas or these past pains or these past disappointments or abandonment or neglect or whatever wounds are still lingering from the past. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more magic. I'm ready for more presence. I'm ready for more empowerment. I'm ready to feel the magic inside of me. I'm ready to taste the deliciousness of life in a way I've never known. I'm ready for more body, mind, soul unity and connection. I'm ready to experience wholeness and happiness that transcends anything I have ever somatically experienced before in my entire life. I'm ready to meet who my childhood self would have grown up to be if they had always known unconditional love. I'm ready to nourish the relationship I have with the experiencer of myself every day. I'm ready for more loving liberation. Then I invite you to explore the offerings through Kristin's Quantum Catalyzers. There are 12 distinct self-guided journeys, a few distinct offerings through single sacred soul sessions or one-time sessions with me, and 2 distinct journeys through multi-month personalized pathways. And so maybe you want a video and a playbook to go through at your own time, at your own pace, in your own way, at an introductory, beginner, or intermediate and advanced level of expansion. Or maybe you want a 1-hour session with me to quantum leap your journey and fulfill your personal intentions. Or you're ready for the deepest dive imaginable, total expansion, total liberation, total transformation, total restoration, understanding every crevice and corner of your consciousness, understanding every hidden miracle of your body mind, transforming everything from your past so you are free beyond anything you've ever known, and expanding into all that you are in a way that is light and fun and easy and feels good and nourishes you every step of the journey. And maybe you're interested in a 3, 6, or 12-month personalized journey with me that includes weekly guided sessions and content creations, where every step of the journey is personalized to facilitate the fulfillment of your personal intentions. I invite you to explore offerings. There are introductory playbooks and web pages with more information, or you can simply connect with me through email and say, hey, here's where I'm at, here's what my intention is, here's what I'm ready to invest. What do you recommend? And I can create a personalized offering for you using any or all of the things I just described. So 12 different self-guided journeys, or single sacred soul sessions with me, or a multi-month one-on-one personalized pathway with me if you are ready to dive deeper and expand into the fullness of all that you are. by exploring creative collisions between neuroscience and consciousness with unconditional love. I guide my clients to understand and redevelop their internal body-mind attachment systems that reside at the foundation of every sensation within our sense of self, inner realities, and details of personal experience. My original modalities and journeys fully facilitate restoration, transformation, and liberation in the greatest depths of body, mind, and soul, to anchor in the wholeness, love, and magic of who we truly are. Welcome to Kristin's Quantum Catalyzers.